And hey, everybody, it's meteorologist Hutch Johnson doing my best to keep you up to date with the latest. We have a watch issued. We have some thunderstorms developing. HutchesWeather.com is here for you anytime, anywhere. Your forecast updated right now on this version of Hutch's Weather.
Now, a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
We'll show you the details on where the severe thunderstorm watch is, but I do want to update you with the track and timing of storms. It's going to be late tonight before they make their way through. For some of us in Minnesota, it'll be in the morning. There'll be a chance of storms, but not all areas are going to see thunderstorms. It'll be strong to severe. And in fact, that's just the nature of the thunderstorm beast. Let's get started with a look at your hour by hour forecast. What you are going to notice as we go through the evening hours, storms now in the central part of the Dakotas will last and persist there through 11 o'clock. We might see some pushing their way into the Devil's Lake Basin by 11 to 1 o'clock. Notice that behind it, we have another wave of storms coming through. So many along the Highway 2 corridor, particularly, could have some pretty copious amounts of rain with some areas of localized flooding. Heading into the deep overnight, this second line catches up with the first line out here. That sounds kind of familiar with a couple of storms. See the backward C shape here, gusty straight line winds focusing on that Highway 2 to Highway 200 corridor will push through, and they could exceed 80 miles per hour if this line of thunderstorms develops. So we'll keep you posted. Right now, we'll continue to monitor things, and I'll show you the latest radar. When will it arrive in the valley? Northern Valley gets it first from the Park River, Grafton area, straight down into the Highway 200 corridor for Cooperstown and Jamestown, seeing those storms at about 3 a.m., according to this latest model run, pushing into northwest Minnesota and the Fargo-Moorhead area in wee hours of the morning. This races off with that backward C shape, bringing that chance of wind straight into central Minnesota. And we're not done yet. We'll have some percolating storms behind the storm system for your daybreak here as those systems race out toward the UP of Michigan. Now, on the backside, watch what happens as we go through the midday hours here. As we head toward the 5 o'clock hour Shazam, we're going to see a developing shower and thunderstorm threat in the eastern third of North Dakota. Strong to severe storms will be likely as we go through the evening hours. By 7 to 10 o'clock, they push through the Red River Valley and parts of Lakes Country. Now, the hottest weather as we go through the day will be in the south. That's where the most energetic storms will be, but we'll still have potent storms up north as well. All modes of severe weather will be possible. Then, heading into the mid evening hours, as we go towards midnight, a long line of thunderstorms with wind working its way through Lake of the Woods, Rainy Lake area, Bemidji, Walker, and Leech Lake, all the way down towards the Becker and Ottertail counties and pushing through Brainerd Lakes area. Look how quickly this moves out of here. And then behind it, westerly winds, much more comfortable air for your weekend ahead. So that's what's going on there. Let's take a look at what's going on with regards to this radar across our region right now. So here we go. The radar looks like this as we are heading into the evening hours right now. And we are seeing showers and thunderstorms developing out near Glendive. Here's that leading band of storms. So it looks a lot like what we were seeing, just not quite as strong or potent at this particular time. And now let's get you caught up with what's going on with regards to our watch for the area. Severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for parts of southeast and eastern Montana, Glendive, all the way up toward the Highway 2 corridor for Culbertson, Wolf Point, and then on down towards the south shores of Fort Peck Reservoir. There is a watch that's in place for much of North Dakota as well, not highlighting on this particular map, but Hutch has more than one way to get this information out to you. So let me pull that up over here. And here we go. Now, what you're going to notice as I switch over the radars here, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch for all of western North Dakota. It includes Bismarck, Dickinson, Williston, Minot. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings out there as well, and sneaking out into the Devil's Lake Basin. This watch, if we go ahead and expand the details on it, is in effect in the Devil's Lake Basin, including Towner County, the Rock Lake area, all the way until 3 o'clock in the morning. So there is that risk for gusty wind. Look at this, 90. Do you see that? 90-mile-per-hour winds possible. Hail over 2 inches in diameter possible. And we cannot rule out a tornado or two, maybe even some strong ones as we go into and through that overnight time frame. So that's what's going on with regards to the watches there. We turn these guys off because it's not loading on this particular platform right now. Now, let's take a look at this radar data here. And here's a look at your watches, warnings, and advisories with regards to these severe storms moving into Kenmare, straight into the Stanley area. There's your backward C shape. These storms are mean, potent, and windy, with a wind gust reported here north of Kenmare just moments ago, 60 miles per hour from the emergency mountain. There, visibility is low, lots of rain, and it's down to about 300 feet so far the visibility goes. Now, from Stanley north toward Powers Lake, this backward C shape would indicate gusty straight line winds in your area. The hail report there, 1 3/4 inch headache hail, folks. Headache hail. No fun, no fun at all. Now, as you go in toward this area, and again, we have a lot of crops out here. It's real important that time of year, but some isolated areas are going to see some big time hail and some potential for some gusty straight line winds. It does look like most of the models show the greatest risk was along and north of the interstate as we went through that. Look at Culbertson, look at Sydney, Montana. We have a gust out there, 80 miles per hour. That's in the city of Lambert, and that wind gust was measured 80 miles per hour. That's what's heading towards Sydney right now along that Highway 200 corridor in the oil patch in parts of eastern Montana. Now, Miles City, Montana, I'm going to have to grab the Billings radar here to highlight what's going on there. But we do have a huge severe thunderstorm warning for this Boeing line segment right here. A line of thunderstorms, that bow echo, bow and arrow, boom, that's some wind. When you see it bowing like that, the strongest of the winds are at the greatest curvature right here, heading right into Miles City and points north of town, north of Interstate 94 out there, as you're tracing the Yellowstone River across the frontier in the plains. 61 mile per hour winds there near the Forsyth area. I hear your questions, I hear your comments, and I hear your stars coming in. Thank you so very much. I hope I sound better. I'm working with the remote studio right now because of some family health issues that are going on. I'm doing my best to keep you informed right here on Hutch's Weather. But let's take a look at what's going on with regards to, well, let me see, I'm going to have to turn that down. Let's minimize that. Let's put your timestamp on there so you can see what time this data is from, 9 p.m. Central Time. So these storms are as forecast by that model, and they will be moving through in the overnight hours. Now, as I leave this up, I'm going to address a couple of things. We've talked about at length tonight the volatility in the atmosphere, but I do want to get this out there. Friday's risk of severe storms has dropped a little bit. So let's go over tonight's risk. No dropping in that risk of severe storms tonight. In fact, it's expanded into parts of western Minnesota. Dangerous and damaging straight line winds into the early overnight hours and in towards morning as we go towards places like the Red Lakes area, Bemidji, and on towards well, let's say Little Falls out there and the Brainerd Lakes area. So all the way from Miles City right through Fargo, Grand Forks, and western Minnesota, we have an enhanced risk of severe storms in these areas. The greatest risk for any tornadic activity tonight, as you take a look at this, you're going to see that the best chance will be in the early phases of the storms right now. The potential for those tornadoes, though, is going to be possible with that Boeing line segment and what we call QLCS tornadoes. Those are spin ups that can happen along those Boeing line segments. They sometimes don't last as long. They're a little harder to track, but they can be quite strong indeed. And just imagine the 70 to 90 mile per hour wind potential that's coming along with these storms. The wind damage then will be the number one threat tonight. Here's a significant wind risk all the way from Miles City right now in Forsyth, where we're measuring 80-mile-per-hour gusts, through Fargo, Grand Forks. This does include Grafton, Park River. It includes the Devil's Lake Basin, Bismarck, and points south as well. These storms are going to take on a mind of their own once they get rolling. That's not out of the woods south of Interstate 94. I want to make sure that you know that. But not everyone in this area is going to get damaging wind, nor is everyone in this area going to get the damaging hail. It's going to be isolated. The greatest chance for this 3-inch diameter hail or better, that's ridiculous hail. Hard hat hail out there. Williston, Dickinson, Medora, McKenzie County, and you folks in Watford City, straight out to Max, Minot, and even out into parts of Sheridan County for you to zoom in just a little bit. McCluskey, Wells County, and the Harvey area, you're right on the border of where this mega hail, monster hail, is going to be possible as we go through the nighttime hours. That's tonight's risk of severe weather. Here's the good news. Hutch has it once in a while. Here, pardon me. Okay, so the good news looks like this, my friends. As we go into your day on Friday, we used to have an enhanced risk in orange over Fargo and Grand Forks. That is gone. Storms are expected to fire, as I showed you here in the eastern third of the Dakotas, and move into Minnesota fairly quickly. And remember, I said it's a 5 o'clock at night till about a 10 o'clock at night event for our area, and they will quickly race through toward the Duluth area and the North Shore as we go through your Friday. This does mean that the risk for tornadoes is down, but it's not zero. I will show this to you graphically. Again, not everywhere in this area is going to see a tornado, but you need to stay weather aware, particularly if you're camping out in lakes country, right? I mean, who doesn't want to go out to lakes country on a very warm late summer weekend? That includes the upper, lower Red Lakes, Leech Lake, all the way down through Otter Tail, Becker counties, straight through the Brainerd Lakes area. And look at this, Mille Lacs, going to see a chance for some stout storms there as well. So there is a tornado risk, but this is a 2% as opposed to what was looking like a 5% risk the other day. And that is why the Storm Prediction Center has lowered that risk. Now, here is another thing to keep in mind with regards to hail. We do have a pretty healthy chance for some hail up and down the Red River Valley. You want to see what counties are involved here? We'll draw the county lines on you. There's Roseau County, there's Marshall County, Pennington, Red Lake, all the way out towards Clearwater County, as well as Beltrami County, and straight down into Otter Tail County, the Morris Benson area, also included in that all of southeastern North Dakota, including the James River Valley, the Cheyenne River Valley, as well as the Highway 200 corridor, has a chance at some hail upwards of 2 inches in diameter. Not as huge of a risk of hail as we have for tonight's storms that will be making their way through. The wind risk looks like this. Basically, it's almost identical to the area of the slight risk of severe storms. So that is some good news for you. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to put the radar up here and I'm going to field your questions as we go into the evening hours. Now, let's go ahead and put the radar back up here if I can. Try it. There we go. Okay, we already have wind reports coming in aplenty out here. The yellow ones, those are big time hail. The blue ones, those are gusty burps of wind belching out of these storms at 60 miles per hour north of Kenmare, north of Newtown, 59 miles per hour. And we're not seeing those 80 or 90-mile-per-hour winds here yet, but that second line of storms has those. We're talking 58, Wolf Point, Montana, 66-mile-per-hour gusts out of those storms there. Let's get to the Deering radar just outside of Minot, and we'll show you these storms. We got to watch along this leading curved area for the rotation in them. These storms are generally moving off to the east. 70-mile-per-hour winds, it says it's been observed 70-mile-per-hour winds, and 1 3/4 inch diameter hail has been observed as well. So we have golf balls and we have gusty winds that are definitely going to cause some damage, unfortunately, to some area crops out there. So keep that in mind. And now, as we take one quick look at the spin in these storms here, this is called storm relative velocity. This is looking from the Deering radar here, and we'll go ahead and see if I can. I'm having problems clicking fast enough, I think. Let's see. Maybe I'll just have to go with regular velocity just to there it goes. Okay, there is regular velocity. What this does, and this is a cool thing I can show you here, it can tell us the velocity of the wind that is being measured with the storm up in the cloud level, but this isn't necessarily what's on the ground. So up at cloud level, it's measuring 50 to 60-mile-per-hour gusts in this pink, outgoing and incoming in the green, by the way, green ones. So the incoming westerly winds being measured with this is about 50 to 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Here near Stanley, it's measuring the same magnitude, but down near the surface, we're getting even stronger gusts with that from these storms. Now let's see if I can click fast enough. There we go. Okay, I wasn't clicking fast enough. So my double click strategy needs to be reviewed. Now let's go in a little bit closer. Now what we're looking for is bright greens next to some bright reds right next to each other, but this has a backward C shape here. Gusty winds heading into Mulhall right now, and the strongest winds on this storm are coming through Tully right now and have exited out of the Kenmare area. Carpio, we do have some storms, and there is some shear back here as we go into this side of the storm near Kenmare, but this is not tight shear or what we would call gate to gate shear. So we do have some, holy cow, look at that outgoing wind, 110-mile-per-hour winds right there. away from the Deering radar. Too many radars around here, too far away. Let's see what the Bismarck radar is not going to be a good one to measure that with. So I think we might be looking at a little bit of a bad beam here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Doppler radar scan just a little bit higher in the sky and see how it disappeared. So there was a bad beam near the surface there. This is a much more telling tale on the wind velocities going on in and around this storm. Backward C shape pushing into the Lansford area sometime shortly and Mulhall as well. So dangerous storms pushing through north central and into north central North Dakota. More dangerous storms behind it right now. Now, as I leave this up, and I'll put this back on the regular radar display here, my apologies for the stuttering. Now, what we're going to do is this. We're going to take a look at your questions. So let's go ahead and first thank you all for watching. Small town, big time. I appreciate you watching. Mara, thanks for watching. Diablo as well. Let's see. Weather's keeping me busy. Appreciate my attention to it. You bet. Amanda, hello from Fertile Beltrami. It's good to see you as well. Now let's see what else we got. Greased Monkey, hello from DL, and it's going to be a late night in DL if you happen to be getting ready for that big Wee Fest thing going on. Tone Loke, what? Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that name in a while. When will we expect them in the Fargo area? It looks like after midnight, probably closer to 2 or 3 in the morning. I hate this weather. I'm right there with you. I am tired of covering storms for the amount of hours that we've been doing it, but I'm committed to keeping you informed. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on my Facebook page. I'm looking for questions, and I unfortunately I can't get them all. So let me take a quick peek. Thank you for your stars to absolutely everybody out there. Nathan, good to see you. I thank you for uploading your photos from the car show tonight. What a beautiful but hot and muggy night for the Moorhead cruise night. Medora, heading to Medora from Fargo tomorrow. It does look like you're going to be driving through storms. If you're, how does the morning look? Morning looks better driving, and I think you're going to be okay getting out there, Kathy. This is scary, Emma. It is scary if the storms move over you. Keep in mind, most of us are not going to have severe weather tonight, even though it's a huge area of impact. Most of us are not going to see severe weather tonight. Some isolated areas will get these gusts to 90 miles per hour. We might have what's called a derecho form. And if that does happen, we could see some very widespread wind damage, much like that happened in the June storms. Staying at the hotel in downtown Fargo. Terry, thank you so very much for letting me know. Oh, you got a good view of the storms as they move in, it sounds like. Thank you very much, Joe, for your prayers for the family. I indeed accept those. And thank you for your thoughts. I do appreciate it. Jana, thank you for watching from Brockton, Montana. Nygards, love you guys very, very much. And thank you for watching. You do have some storms that are rocking our way on the way out of your area. Well, let's see. We got the radar here showing the gusts. Let's go to the Glasgow radar. That one might give us a little gooder estimate of what's going on in your neck of the woods with regards to these winds. The Poplar area seeing 66-mile-per-hour gusts. That's not good for the wheat out there. Have you gotten most of the wheat off the ground out there? I know you've been a little drier than some of us up here. Milner, North Dakota, there's a chance for storms tonight, indeed, but the better chance will be north of us, but I can't say it's a zero, Janelle. Katie, thank you for watching. When will it hit Red Lake Falls? It's going to be after 3 a.m. in Red Lake Falls. It still could be windy. Will it hit Fertile, Maple Bay area, Diana? There is a chance of that. It's going to be very late at night and probably after 1 in the morning. It gets to Maple Lake before it gets to Fargo. There's two storms coming to Fargo. Well, there's two lines of storms, and we'll see what they do. As we noticed with the storm in June, it was the Bow Echo, which was the derecho that blasted and wiped out the tornadic storms that were long-lived tornado producers. So keep that in mind. Sometimes these storms can interact together and do crazy things where they wipe each other out. Grand Forks, you got storms coming your way about 1 in the morning. It looks like please go back and watch the entirety of this. I did cover the hour-by-hour forecast. Does it look like it'll make it to Roseau? Yes. It's going to be after about 2 in the morning for western Roseau County. So you folks in Greenbush, Badger, You get ready. Carlstead, that's your area as well. Amy, we appreciate you as well. Thank you from Wadena, and thank you for watching. Randy, thank you for watching. Heating, daytime heating. Will the lack of heating impact the storm's intensity tomorrow? That's part of why the threat is down a little bit, but it's going to be hot in the Southern Valley tomorrow. I went over the temperatures there. I'm expecting near 90 in Fargo and Point South, and it'll be closer to 80 or so up near Grand Forks. Alex, thanks for your stars. Kathy, thanks for your stars. Odds of hail in the FM area tonight. That's a really good question, but the odds of hail with these storms is going to be greater with that 2 to 3 inch hail out in western and central North Dakota. I would put our odds here at about 20 to 30% of the area seeing a chance of some sizable hail. And that's not everybody. Terry, thank you for watching from Holly. I appreciate you very much. Edmore, thank you very much, Roxanne, for your question. Yes, there's a chance of storms in your area tonight. The storms are right now tracking along the Highway 2 Corridor 2 for you to be aware of. Many of the earlier models that ran earlier in the day had most of the storms up there. So I do think you have a steady and good chance along the Highway 2 and 200 corridors of seeing some storms. What about Ellendale? Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, good to have you on board, and it does look like your area will have a chance, but I'm going to put it at a lower chance in Ellendale than along the I-94 corridor in points north. Greetings from Mexico. Ximena Flores, I hope I'm announcing your name properly. Your husband is in Fargo. Welcome to Fargo, North Dakota, and I'm glad that you're keeping an eye on the weather. For now, it's good. It'll be very late at night. Are you Central Time Zone as well in Mexico? Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you. Gracias. Tracy, how does it look for Kitson County? Great chance of storms. It's going to be around that 1 o'clock in the morning time frame. Is there a chance of a tornado hitting Jamestown? I cannot say it's zero. If you recall, I went over the tornado risk area here, and that tornado risk area for tonight all extends from Montana right into the FM area. So the chance is not zero. It's not a huge chance. Keep that in mind. But we do have a chance of a tornado. So if I go back to this, um, gusty wind will be the main threat tonight. So I do want to be clear about that. But the probability of tornado for Jamestown is stated as 5% by the Storm Prediction Center here. Can you see that? Let me make sure you can see that. Yes. So there's Jamestown. Brown, not good. That's 5% chance. Green, 2% chance. That's Fargo. That's Grand Forks. So as these storms move farther into the nighttime hours towards 2, 3 in the morning, the risk of tornadoes goes down. The risk of burpy winds stays quite high. Okay, I'm trying to go through as many questions as I can, but I am going to have to duck out here for a little bit of a break as these storms continue to pass through. I will keep you posted, but let me get back to your questions as we have the radar on in the background. Beulah Hazen, it's going to be a little bit later. Those models were showing right now this main cluster moving into the Minot zone is the main threat. There's huge hail and very gusty winds with that, and it's dropping ping pong balls up there as it's working its way through, and even greater towards golf balls. The storms out near Miles City and Glendive right now will be moving through the Lake Sakakawea area a little bit later. That's Beulah Bay, Hazen Bay, and your area there, just north of Interstate 94. And yes, you do have a chance at seeing them. I would put the chances better north of you, but these storms that are moving through Glendive and points north now could turn to the right a little bit, and I think that's what's going to happen. What about Mento? Yep, Mento has a chance for some storms indeed. It's going to be later in the night there in the Grand Forks area. I've mentioned that a couple times closer to the 1 a.m. time frame watching Browns Valley, Minnesota. Not sure if I'll have much to worry about. It does look like they stay to the north of you, Victoria, and I hope that's the case. Appreciate your coverage. Thank you, Debbie, and I appreciate you watching. If you want to tag a friend on this, that would be good. Then maybe they can watch the replay. Let me know if you're watching live. Let me know if you watch the replay. And if you have a question, I will try to venture back through this, but I do get a number of questions. Keep that in mind. How big are the chances of a tornado hitting Hillsboro? They're not big. Particularly as you get into the Red River Valley, that chance drops off to 2%. But I do think we have a fair chance in Hillsboro of some burping windstorms out there, and those won't be too fun at all. watching from Moorhead. Shirley, thanks for watching. Danny, good to have you on board. What is the chance for a tornado in the Hunter area? Same thing goes. You saw that map at about 5% that we just went over. So that's what I would say for you. And for Fargo, it drops off a little bit more, but we're not too far apart now, are we? Okay, Ransom and Sargent County, a little bit lower chance of the storms in your area, but it's not zero. We'll just see there. Michelle Duckinson Qualley. Okay, thank you very much. I hope I pronunciated that correctly. It's late at night and my monitor's too small. Um, Tornadoes, Fergus Falls, pretty low chance. There could be some windy storms for you as you get into the wee hours of the morning. Bow bells, get more hail. It does look like if I move the radar around here for you, Bow bells, folks, there's another line of storms. It looks like it's going to pass to the south of you. So here's Bow bells, Noonan. All of you folks up here in the great northwestern part of the state. I think that the stuff in Culbertson is going to stay sub-severe there for your area this evening, and it likely will move more along the Highway 2 corridor through Williston, Watford City, and the oil patch. Look at Sydney, Montana. This backward C shape is not a good thing. Brace yourself, Sydney, Montana. Stay away from those west facing windows and put the trampolines on their backs because that's a trampoline tosser right there. Same thing for Miles City, Montana. Cowboys, hold on to your hats out there on the I-94 corridor. This storm means business. 68-mile-per-hour gusts there in the Hathaway area. We do have the Forsyth area with that report of 60 and 61 miles per hour. So that's what's going on. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. I do think we got a pretty good assortment of folks here watching live. Jessica, thanks. Wales, North Dakota, please. How about that? Wales, North Dakota. So I'm going to let you know that across the region tonight, basically the entire state of North Dakota has that chance. And you notice in the northern part, the state here, that's where these storms are tracking. Almost all models today and even tonight have kept these storms skirting right along the international border. So yeah, you will have a chance at those storms tonight. Wind will be the main threat. There could be some serious hail. Hiya, good to see you there, Kara. I hope you are doing well. And I don't know if you're going to be in a boat, but if you are, make sure you know where you can get to some shelter. Would you please, Audrey? Thank you for watching and thank you for your stars. Danny, thank you very much for watching again. Crookston area. Well, in Crookston, it'll be a little bit later, but about that 1 to 1:15 time frame. These storms can speed up quite a bit overnight. Just know that. We're looking at wind and guess the rain total west of Manville. This is going to be soggy. If you happen to be in the path of these two different lines, it could really add up in a hurry. And this air has 70-degree dew points. Watch my other videos there. I got to tell you what, I just hit a goal. I just hit a goal tonight. Thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube as well. I just hit 70,000 followers. That's something that I've been reaching for, and I can't believe you helped me do it. If you have not yet hit the follow button on my Facebook page, please do so. It helps me out a great deal, and my content gets out to more folks. So thank you so very, very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled. 70,000 of you following Hutch Johnson's weather. Thank you very much. All right, looks like Crookston. We've talked about Crookston. Thank you for all of your stars. Andy says, hey, thanks for the updates. And thank you, Andy, for watching. In Valley City, Rhonda says, in Valley City, hoping the storms stay out of Valley City. I hope they stay out of Fargo. But I got to tell you what, it doesn't matter where they decide to hit. There's a lot on the line tonight because it's harvest season, folks, and we don't want our producers getting whacked with these hailstones. But that's going on right now. And unfortunately, that's what's taking place. Danelle, thanks for watching. In my old stomping grounds of Bismarck, North Dakota, spent the better part of a decade covering your weather on a daily basis. And I got to tell you what, there is some storms coming, but you're not going to get round one. You will have a better chance at what's coming out of Montana here from Miles City and from the Glendive area making its way through the Hazen Bay area. So if I can draw on this, if you don't mind me drawings, I'm going to go ahead and do it. We'll do that, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. These storms here, I think, will continue along the border and work their way along the international border this way. So that's where they're going, the first line. This line here looks to expand, I think, and it's going to continue this way. Now, a couple of these individual cells on the south side, it's not uncommon to see them do this and turn down to the south. They turn into the air that feeds them the moisture, and that can happen tonight. So these southernmost storms will have the greatest risk at some tornadic activity tonight, as well as some of the largest hail as we go towards morning. See what's going on in Model City, Montana? These storms also will be working their way off to the east. So some areas are going to see a couple of rounds of storms, and those would be right here. So you got Williston, you got Minot, a couple of rounds of storms in Devil's Lake and Grand Forks. That means rainfall amounts could be upwards of 1 to 3 inches. But if you ask, you shall receive on Hutch's weather. So let's do a little bit of analysis before I dive over and take a look at the rainfall amounts. What's going on right now with rainfall? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, I think I asked. Can you show the path over the evening for eastern North Dakota, please? Brandon, I did that earlier. I will do it one more time real fast though, because I know there's a lot of people joining me late. I just don't want to repeat too much. I have a lot going on to do, but I will do that one more time. Let's go ahead and go to the forecast map here and let's go ahead and take a look at one computer model. Notice I'm not going to show you just one because there's not one computer model that Hutch has watched over my 30 plus year career that has done an excellent job of hitting every single storm. It's just not going to happen. Now, this one not doing too bad. There's line one skirting along the international border. Sydney, Montana, line two making its way through. This model keeps things quiet right now as we go into the midnight hour. That's what you're looking at. Midnight, nothing yet. Then as we go towards, wow, this model here says it ain't going to be until 4 in the morning before they make their way through the Devil's Lake Basin and into parts of the Northern Valley. 4 in the morning to 6 in the morning for Grand Forks. This is much later, much later. So we'll see. As far west as these storms are, this might be the case. Then look at more storms forming in and around Bismarck as we go towards daybreak, and those will come through. Now, someone was asking, will this affect temperatures? You betcha. If this batch of showers moves through at noon, this really could have an impact on our afternoon thunderstorms and severe risk. I think that's going to be down here if this is the case. Yep, look at that. Another round, late evening, dinner time, and beyond there for that second round. That's a look at that. This is a weird deal. This is the first time I've seen a model burp this nonsense out. Is that right? This model hasn't been Hutch's favorite this year. Here's the one that has, and it's still coming in right now. You are getting the latest, greatest model forecast right hot off the presses, as they used to say in the old newspaper days. Look at these storms. This looks very familiar. It looks like what's going on. Line one, line two, line three. Let's go ahead and move these lines across the great state of North Dakota out of big sky country of Montana. This storm system here has them at about 1 o'clock, the first batch reaching northeast North Dakota. Walsh County. So if you happen to be in Park River, Grafton, Grand Forks, 1 o'clock in the morning still seems to be a pretty good bet, midnight to one for the northern Red River Valley. Look at 1, 2, 3 waves of storms all marching in a train. Here is the conductor, and then there's the caboose way the heck back there. So as we go through, these rainfall amounts could add up. Second storm, third storm making their way through the valley. This one catches up to the other line. Do you see that? And then shazam, we still have storms all the way till 6, 7 in the morning in northwest Minnesota. How about rainfall amounts with this puppy? Let's go ahead and check the latest, greatest. Rain aplenty. Now, with 1, 2, and 3 storms working their way through as we go towards your Saturday morning, look at this. This is Saturday morning, so that takes into account some of the stuff going on at Friday. But essentially, 1 to 3.5 inches of rain with isolated places getting even more. This model says, man, south of Interstate 94, a lower chance. Let's hope for those of you producers down there that you don't have anything to worry about, but this is just one model. So that is the forecast. I do think that this model is the one Hutch is going to put his eggs in that basket. Let me take a look at this model, though, shall we? This is the European model. Now, why am I looking at this and where did I go? Oh, whew, I thought I was feeling a little lightheaded there for half a second. Let me just double check and make sure that we're looking at the European model here. And now we're going to put this puppy into motion. I'm going to have to switch this over to the European. For some reason, it loaded up the wrong one. Here we go. Okay, so this model here has tonight's storms as we go into the morning hours moving through the northern and central Red River Valley and racing out, and then heating up in the afternoon and storms forming right here in the Red River Valley as we go into your midday and afternoon hours. I like this model, and I think it's on to something. A lot can change. That's the very, very latest. Thank you so very, very much. Hey, by the way, with all of you producers out there that have everything on the line, we're all thinking about you, including Hutch's Weather. And I do want to point out on hutchesweather.com, if you head on over to my website right now, you've got all my latest things going on here. There's a live update. If you let my website track your location, it will let you know, well, what's going on in your area as far as watches and warnings from the National Weather Service. Now, behind Hutch's big melon here, you're going to see a little gear. Oh, it's right here, right here. That little gear is the settings, and you can add your city to it if you don't want to let it track. So if you want to track, say you live in Palermo, okay, there you go. If you live in Valley City, you can type in Valley City and it'll give you the weather report for there, and it'll look up warnings for your area. Now, I do want to let you know about a brand new sponsor. Hutchesweather.com would not be possible without these fine sponsors. And JLA Crop Insurance is it. Now, I'm telling you about this because it's that time of year. You have till, I believe, the end of this month to purchase your hail crop insurance. And my friend Nate at JLA Crop Insurance can help you with that. So click on that icon right here, okay? And when you do, you're going to get some information about JLA. This is the cool thing with the crop hail insurance. That coverage can be bound within 2 hours. 2 hours. So give Nate a call. I'm sure he won't mind. He is a producer. He's a family person who's been working a small farm for his entire career, and now he's gotten into some insurance work as well. So he knows what you're going through. And by the way, the JLA, that comes from the first letters in his kid's name. So he's a good guy, and I'm sure he can get you a quote. Let him know these are some of the other fine services and products that he has available. So thank you so very, very much, Nate, for sponsoring Hutch's Weather. Thanks to you for watching. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I appreciate each and every one of you. Got to go tend to some personal business. I will keep you apprised of the situation. A Boeing line of windy storms with large hail moving towards Minot and areas north toward the international border now. Another Boeing line segment making its way towards Williston now out of Sydney, Montana. And a third wave of storms moving through Miles City, Montana right now. I'll keep you posted. For now, thank you for watching and have a great